B Marsh Boxing back at it with another breakdown and prediction. And this for the IBF vacant middleweight title. Gonna be fought between Danny Jacobs versus the technician, Sergei Derevyanchenko. Now this is a very good fight, you know. Sergei Derevyanchenko, 12-0, 10 KOs. Versus Danny Jacobs, what is he, 34-2, 29 KOs. You know what I mean? Danny Jacobs got 2 losses. Controversial loss to Triple G and a KO loss to, I believe in 2011, 2012 to Dmitry Pirog, you know what I mean? So, you know, Danny Jacobs, you know, the guy has, in the middleweight division, really and truly, when we really think about it, you know, Danny Jacobs' offensive skill set, in my opinion, he has the best tools in the middleweight division, you know what I mean, as far as all-around fighter. You check it, you know, he has a nice 1-2. He has a nice overhand right. He goes to the body, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Danny Jacobs has a nice offensive arsenal, you know what I mean? He looks, you know what I mean? He has the talent, and he looks like the talent when he's in there, you know what I'm saying? When he's doing what he does, when he does it at his best, you know what I mean? Sergei Derevyanchenko, he himself, he's a nice combination puncher, you know? He's a guy who comes forward, and he's a guy who punches in different angles, you know what I mean? He sidesteps and he punches with left hooks, you know, while he steps over to his right, and vice versa. When he steps over to his left, he has some nice right hooks, those some nice straight 1-2s, you know what I mean? Hooks, and, you know, it's going to be a good fight, ladies and gents, you know what I mean? You know, Derevyanchenko, you know, I'm not too sure how old he is. I remember, you know, he's not a young cat, you know what I mean? I know he's been in the Olympics. I believe he was in the 2008 Olympics. You know, he got a good amateur background, but so do Danny Jacobs, you know what I mean? There's no style these two guys haven't seen. And in my opinion, you know, I think Danny Jacobs is definitely the more experienced pro, you know what I mean? He's definitely a vet at this game, and you know, he's going for his first world title, you know what I'm saying? You know, Danny Jacobs been on the radar for a long time, you know what I mean? You know, Danny Jacobs is not new to this. And, you know, he's never achieved a world title, you know what I'm saying? He's had a regular title or a world title. I don't consider those, sorry. If there's a real super champ with the WBA, then everybody else is second tier, you know what I mean? You know, just like Lucas Matisse, you know what I mean? He's never officially been like a real world champion, you know what I'm saying? And that's the same, you know, he had that WBA world title, you know, but I don't consider those, you know what I mean? That's just what it is, you check it. So, you know, Danny Jacobs is hungry, man. He's hungry going into this fight, and so is Sergei Derevyanchenko, you know what I mean? These two guys are familiar with each other from, you know, sparring against each other. They have the same trainer. What's that guy's name? Not Derek James. He looked like him, though. Man, that guy will be coaching these Brooklyn guys. It's not. Can't quite remember right now, you know what I mean? But, you know, these two guys are trained by that trainer, you know what I mean? The guy who trained Saddam Ali. And I seen him in Malinagi's corner, and also Curtis Stevens, you know what I mean? You check it. So, you know, it's going to be a good fight. These two guys are familiar with each other, and we shall see at the end of the night who's going to be the more hungry fighter, who, you know what I'm saying, who is going to overcome the other's will to win this fight. You know what I mean? So as far as styles, you know, I think Danny Jacobs, you know what I mean, his defense is a little vulnerable. That's one thing about his skill set, you know what I mean? You know, he can get tagged, you know what I'm saying, and he can get hurt. And I do believe in this fight at some point in time, both guys will be hurt, you know. Both guys can succumb to a KO, you know what I mean? Both got nice KO ratios. Danny Jacobs hasn't got a knockout in his last two fights. Actually, 3, actually. From Triple G to that Arias kid from, you know, Cuba Arias from Wisconsin. To the Polish guy, Solecki, you know what I mean, that he fought in the last fight. Danny did drop him in the 12th, and believe you me, if Danny Jacobs had dropped him any earlier, he would have finished him off. The fight would have gone the distance, you know what I mean? So, you know, Danny Jacobs, sometimes he presses too much, looking for the KO, you know what I'm saying, because he does throw some punches with bad intentions, you know what I mean? That's why, you know, his 1-2 is one thing that I think he can use. He has a longer reach, you know what I mean? I believe by like 5, 6 inches. You check it. He can use his jab, his nice 1-2 when Derevyanchenko's trying to, looking for angles trying to come in, you know what I'm saying? And when Derevyanchenko, who, is a good inside fighter, you know what I'm saying? That's what he's gonna have to use. But Danny Jacobs can counter that with nice left hooks for a guy coming on the inside. He can shorten up his punches with the left hooks. So Derevyanchenko, like I said, he's a good combination puncher, you know what I'm saying, especially when he has an opponent, covering up in the high guard, you know what I'm saying? And he's going to have to get Danny Jacobs to the point where he's in the high guard, backing up on the ropes. And that's why I see him getting some success, because if they stand in the middle of the ring, it's a good fight right there, but Danny Jacobs will have the advantage with the reach, you know what I'm saying? And on the inside, that's where this little guy, you know what I mean? He's not that little. He's about 5'9", you know what I'm saying? But in that division, guys are a little taller, you know what I'm saying? Fighting with guys like Andrade and Danny Jacobs, these guys are taller guys, you know what I mean? The Charlo brothers, so Derevyanchenko has, him being the shorter fighter, he's going to have to come in on different angles, and he's going to have land punches with bad intentions, you know what I mean? Because Danny Jacobs could get caught. He got caught with a vicious straight right hands and some nice short left hooks from the Sergei guy in the last fight, you know what I mean? A couple shots that kind of even, wobbled or stunned the man, Danny Jacobs, you know what I mean? So, that's the advantage that the Derevyanchenko has, you know what I mean? If he can land often and early, he can probably catch Danny Jacobs and he could probably stop him, you know what I mean? That's how close this fight is, These two guys, like I said, they know each other from sparring a lot. And, I think it's going to be a very competitive fight. Do I think Danny Jacobs could stop him too? I think he can if he catches him with the perfect shot, you know what I mean? And Danny Jacobs does have power, no question about it, you know what I'm saying? He has a lot of KOs on his record, you know what I mean? And he did stop the man, Peter Quillen, in one round, you know what I mean? To the point where Peter Quillen thought he was fighting Deontay Wilder. He covered up and he ain't throw no punches. He just got swarmed with a mirage of punches, and the referee had to stop it. You know what I mean? And Derevyanchenko could be in the same situation too if he's not careful. You know what I mean? And Danny Jacobs, like I said, very talented fighter. But I think sometimes he presses too much for the KO. Trying to load up on shots and really trying to go in. And I think he has to be patient and time him, and set up some traps, to time the man Derevyanchenko, and he could probably catch him, you know what I mean? So, Danny Jacobs going to have to throw body shots when the guy's coming in and, using his 1-2, using his length, you know what I'm saying? Using the ring, I'm not talking about like running, but using lateral movement, you know what I'm saying? So the guy Derevyanchenko cannot set up too, because he comes in different, in awkward angles, you know what I mean? He got to offset Derevyanchenko, and Derevyanchenko's going to be the come forward fighter. But if they're in the center of the ring, that's where I think Danny Jacobs has the advantage, and the ring generalship, I think that will win him the majority of the rounds, you know what I mean? So I see Danny Jacobs winning this fight a close 7-5, maybe 8-4. You check it. Derevyanchenko, I think, will be coming in a lot and trying to throw combinations. You know what I'm saying? But, Danny Jacobs is going to be countering him. And when the guy's throwing the combinations, Danny Jacobs is going to be, sidestepping and just countering him and trying to catch him with short or straight right hands, you know what I mean? Danny Jacobs has a good left hook for a taller fighter, and he could probably catch Derevyanchenko. So it'll be a good fight between these two, and I do believe Danny Jacobs will get it done. Will I be shocked if not? No, not at all, because these two guys are familiar with each other from sparring, and you know what I'm saying? I think that the man, Danny Jacobs, will be victorious in this fight, you know what I mean? Fights at Madison Square Garden in Danny Jacobs' hometown, you know what I mean, of New York. And Derevyanchenko, he himself, he's coming from Russia. He fights out of Brooklyn, you know what I mean? So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Russians out there. He should go recruit him. I hope that he promoted out there in Brooklyn, you know what I mean? Over there where all them Russians be at, you know what I'm saying? Brighton Beach and all that. So, Derevyanchenko, if he has a good fan base and Danny Jacobs brings his people, it should be an electric night, you know what I mean? So, B-Marsh Boxing, I got the man Danny Jacobs winning this fight. Unanimous decision, maybe even a close split decision, but I see a unanimous decision. B-Marsh Boxing, I'm out of here. Peace. Leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know who you guys think gonna win the fight. All right? I'm out. Peace.